What up, y'all? All right, this is Weetlu here, owner and operator of Inchiwana. I just wanted to show you how to use a pattern today. This is a fairly easy pattern. It's going to be your simplicity here, 8211. And down here it has a skill set level, right? So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about a 2. So it's an easy skill set. We have 4 different selections here for our skirts. I'm going to do just the knee-high, 18 inches long, and then I'm going to show you how to go from there. So if you're ever purchasing anything, on the back here, it shows you exactly how many yards you'll need for the size you're working with, and then if you're working with a zipper, it'll give you the contents of what you'll need for all of that as well. So make sure you get comfortable with these patterns, or make sure you know how to read them. It's all described here on the back, and it lays everything out for you just perfect the way it should be. And my baby's over here trying to talk to me. Okay, so for the one I just mentioned, for 18 inches long, that's going to be the knee-high length, and that's what this is here. And when you lay your material out, depending on what you bought at Joann's Fabric, your material will come off of the bolt, as the Joann's ladies will cut. Standard width is about 45 to 60 inches, just depending. But your fabric will come pre-folded already, because it's folded on top of the bolt when you buy it, when you purchase it. So I've already cut my piece out as far as this goes. But say this was a piece you just cut off the bolt. It was like, I went and purchased 2 yards. What you're going to do is, it comes pre-folded like I said, so the side that's folded already, you're just going to lay that down. Let me move this one here. You're going to lay that down on your table like that. When you grab your pattern, it's going to have a side with 2 arrows. This will be the side you lay against the folded part. These lines, these solid black lines here, is going to be the side you cut. So you'll just lay this down on top of your fabric, like so. You get your pins. If you have pins, makes it easier for anything you're cutting out. Pin them to all 4 sides. Make sure everything is laying flat. You'll take your scissors and you'll just cut along the edge here, just like that. And that gets you your first piece. And, well, yeah. And so once you get one piece cut out, typically on your pattern, it'll say cut to unfold. So that means you'll cut 2 pieces of this. So I've already cut my 2 pieces out, and I'm going to show you what they look like. This was my extra. Alright, so this is the first piece I cut out. She sure is talkative. Alright. So this is what the first piece is going to look like when it's opened up. When I cut it out, it looks like this, which looks like the pattern that we just did. We just used. Now for some people, when you open it up to see how long the actual skirt is going to be, this top part right here is going to be the top of your skirt where you will insert the elastic. So for this is already measuring. I think I already measured it earlier. But this is already at least 37 inches across. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm about a 40. So when I have 2 of these, this is going to be draping my body, right? There's going to be a lot of gathering. And some women don't like too much gathering because a lot of the times it bunches up and makes them look a little bit bigger than what they really are. Are you trying to crawl to me? Okay. So like I was saying, this may be something you can trim down. So you might want to check your patterns first and measure them, because their measurements are a little bit different from the average woman. I find it that when I've used the pattern measurements, oh, what? I find it that when I use these pattern measurements on the back are a lot smaller than what my measurements really are. So you'll have to double check yourself first if you're making a project for yourself or whoever you're making it for. Because right now, when I have the front and this is the back part. So when I have the front and the back put together with 37 plus 37, that's going all the way around my body to make the full complete skirt. That's going to be a lot of material. So I might make this, since I've already cut it out, for somebody maybe a little bit bigger, or I can just go ahead and go and trim it down. But we want to avoid trimming any material because that's when we step into making a lot of waste of fabric that we could have prevented in the beginning. But, you know, things happen. That's how people learn, trial and error. So don't be afraid to cut it out and make sure it's customized if it's for yourself, because you want something that's going to fit, and you want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can to make something that you're pleased with. So once you get your two pieces, your front and back cut out, then our next step is to get the ribbon. Once you have all your ribbon picked out, you're going to take one side, you're going to open it up all the way so it lays out flat. And the way you start with your first ribbon is you're going to take a ruler and you're going to measure maybe about, I always measure about 3 inches from the bottom to the beginning of whatever ribbon you're going to use first. So then I will mark it, and I've got 2 pins here already. One right here, here, and then I'll have another one. What? What? And then I'll have another one right here on the end. So I'll have 3 just to get the straight line all the way across. And don't forget, on the bottom here, you're going to need a hem, 1/4 hem of space. So when you'll iron that down and you sew it down, it hides your raw edges. Same with up top. But these patterns were already cut and made to have those seam hems already put into the measurements. So since I have my measurements already marked here, I'm going to use stitch witchery, and that's going to go down first before my ribbon does. And that's going to lay all the way across. Sometimes people like to save their stitch witchery and do little portions here, here, and here, so you don't use a huge strip, because this stuff goes by really quickly. You want to hold that? Okay, go ahead and hold it. So some people will put some people will put just a little strip here, here, and here. I personally don't like to do that, because once you go, if you're a newbie or a beginner, once you go to sew your ribbon down, your fabric and your material or your ribbon will start to separate, and it won't lay as flat as it would if you had the whole thing ironed down. So once you put the stitch witchery all the way across, you'll use a hot iron and iron your ribbon on top of the stitch witchery. So the stitch witchery basically fuses the ribbon to your fabric. And that's going to be so much easier when you use a full strip, because then nothing moves and all you have to worry about is sewing. So if you had those gaps in between with no stitch witchery, you would have to really focus on making sure your ribbon doesn't move up or shift in any kind of way, because then you most likely might have crooked ribbon, and we don't want that. So this is going to be my first video. I'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I just wanted to show you how to cut out fabric with the patterns. And this is a pretty simple pattern. We could easily cut out just by measuring our own body and then the length of the ribbon skirt that we would like it at. It's really not that hard. All it is just a long rectangle, and that's why I wanted to start our first project out with this first, because it's going to be the easiest. Okay, so if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know, or place them down in the comments. Don't forget to, yeah, actually that's pretty much wraps it up. So hit the like button, get us some more views, woohoo! Subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video. The next video we'll be laying down ribbon. Woo-hoo. Thank you.